we're going to go to the first word of Yahuwah in verse 3. You have no other mighty ones against my face. That's the first word, first commandment. Okay, so we'll stop there. This video is just for this one, and each video from here on out, we're just going to concentrate on the one word in sequential order. So, you have no other mighty ones against my face. What does that mean? Well, let's break it down. No, right here. Now, this word is pronounced in Hebrew, lo. And it is an absolute prohibition. Okay, nothing, meaning nothing. You have nothing, no. It is an absolute prohibition, meaning nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay. You have no other. So let's break down that word other. That word other there in Hebrew is acher. Acher. Okay, acher. And this word other is following, or any other, another. So you have no other. You do not follow any other. Let's break down mighty ones. Let's break down this word mighty ones. This word mighty ones, it really involves a lot. So he's talking about no gods, no goddesses, no works, no special possessions. You see what these mighty ones can be? And we think that idolatry is bowing down to an idol. But my friends, Hasatan has had centuries to perfect his deception. And he has drowned us in mighty ones. He's talking about no special possessions, no statues, no, I don't even like having like pictures, because I don't want to look at those things and in any way, have them on my walls. And, it's a very fine line, but it's not overbearing. Even to have a picture of the so-called drawings or pictures of Yahushua, we don't know what he looked like. Nobody does. And it really isn't important, when you think about it. Only for us, because we always like to put face to the name. But it really isn't important. It really is not as important as obeying. No special possessions of gods or magistrates. No rulers. No judges. No divine ones. No angels. No other gods. Says you are to have no other gods, no special possessions, no special works. I wanted to break down this word have. This word have, or shall have, is the word ha-yah. How-yah. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. But it means come to pass, or exist, or just happen. You don't abide. You don't remain there. You don't stand or lie next to anything. You have nothing to accompany you. Okay? So, you don't take company. You don't just happen to have. You don't abide. There's absolute prohibition. You don't follow another. No other rulers, no other magistrates, no goddesses, no gods, no special possessions, no works. Now, what is a work? Well, it can be even an occasion. It can be an event. It can be something that you purpose in your heart to do. Just like these holidays. The whole holidays are special occasions. You know, Shaul says a good soldier, he doesn't get involved in the affairs of this life. So that he does not become entangled. So that he does not become distracted. When you're sent out to war, when you're put in a position in the army, you are to stay focused. You are to stay laser focused on what your mission is, on what you are trained to be focused. Even if there's loud bangs and noises, you are focused on what your mission and what your calling is. You don't become entangled in the affairs of this life. And, all of these holidays are affairs of this life that we are commanded to abstain from. These are special works. We have special possessions like Christmas trees and decorations. We've been raised to think that this is normal. These are special possessions. These are special things that we harbor in our hearts. These are gods and goddesses. The Asherah tree. The tree of Asherah. We've brought these things into our homes and we spend time decorating them. We plan our lives around these things. Our entire months in the end of the year consist of planning to partake in these things. We arrange our lives. We save money in order to buy gifts, special possessions to offer during these days. Idolatry comes in many, many forms. And this is just another form of idolatry that he commands. He prohibits us. He prohibits us from partaking in. No other mighty ones. Against. That word against is al. And it means on the ground of, on account of, behalf of, beside, in addition to, together with, beyond, above, and over, towards, and against. So it covers this one scripture, and no wonder this word is first. No wonder this is the first commandment, because our entire lives are steeped in idolatry. We have special possessions. We have special works. We obey rulers and magistrates, and we believe in all these other gods and goddesses. We have things added to. We have added to. him. We have things beyond him. We have things beside him. We keep things above him. We have crosses in our churches to represent on behalf of. These are all idols. These are all other gods. These are all prohibited. Right here in this one verse, in the first commandment. No wonder it's the first. It's one of the deepest. We are steeped in idolatry. Unknowingly, knowingly. My face. Now that word face is the word panim. It means in my presence, in front of my person, on the surface, before, behind, toward, and in front. So let's put this all together. You shall have, or you shall not allow anything to come to pass or happen or exist. You do not abide. You don't remain. You don't stand by or lie. And you don't have any company with another mighty ones, another god, goddess, special works, special possessions, no other angels, no judges, no divine ones. You do not have these things come to pass. Anything other. Against, in front of, beside, above, beyond, toward, in addition to, or together with, my face, my surface, my person, my presence. You do not. You have no other mighty ones against my face. Covers a lot there, doesn't it? Very eye-opening. You know, I always wonder, like, why do we feel so compelled to celebrate things? To make things an occasion? Why are we so compelled to celebrate things of the past? Why do we always try to make something a special occasion or a holiday? When you celebrate the past, you're celebrating the dead. Yahushua said, let the dead bury the dead. Celebrate the living. Celebrate the present. And the present is, you are my Abba. You are my mighty one. Yah. I follow you. I shall have no other before me and beside me. My celebration is this day in your presence. And I'm not joyless. People like to say, you're religious or zealot or joyless. Excuse me. But being religious is doing the same thing every single year, month, along with others. A cult is doing the exact same thing as each other over and over in sequence. I've been told that I was you're in a cult. Really? Am I the only member? Because I'm actually trying to separate myself from what everybody else, including the federal government and the rest of the sinful world, is doing. But if I err on the side of righteousness. That is my resolve. Because I don't want to break his his commands. I want to guard them. I want to protect them. I want to secure them. I want to be in them. I want to absorb them. I want to live and abide in them. Because if I do, I am remembering that he has brought me out of spiritual Mitzrayim. And he brings me into his promised land as I continue in obedience unto him wholeheartedly. I am not joyless. I am more than happy to obey him because he saved me. He opened up my eyes. He woke me up. He has delivered me from the kingdom of darkness, and he has translated me and transferred me and brought me out and broken the chains and brought me into his wonderful light. I can see. My life is clear, it's clean, it's free. And no longer do I have to live in sinful Egypt, disobeying and always looking over my shoulder. I'm not always looking over my shoulder when I guard his commands. I no longer feel like I'm always sinning. The church wants to make everything a sin, but obeying the Torah. They want to make everything a sin. Oh, you're a sinner. Name yourself a sinner. If you don't call yourself a sinner, you're being self-righteous. That's totally unscriptural. That's totally against what he's telling us. Never, and you know what? That place is a bad reputation on my Abba. That says that he is an angry, revengeful Abba. And he is not. His commands are not laborious. They are beautiful. They keep me in his path. I no longer feel like I'm always a sinner and crushed down and just a horrible person. How could you do that? I now understand what sin is. I now understand what walking in righteousness is. I'm not perfect by any means, but I continue to guard his commands. That's all he's asked of me. Guard my commands. Live. Choose to live. He says, follow Mashiach. Let's look at one more scripture because it's just so beautiful.